My coworker kept taking credit for my ideas, then told our boss I was holding the team back. What he didn't know was that our boss was my older brother. Started small, then escalated to claiming my entire project proposals as his original ideas. I documented everything instead of confronting him. Screenshots, timestamps, recorded sessions. I figured the truth would come out naturally. The breaking point came during our quarterly review meeting. Derek stood up with my entire marketing campaign, the one I'd spent 3 weeks developing for the Henderson account, and presented it as his breakthrough concept. I've been working nights and weekends on this, he told the room, really pushing myself to think outside the box for our biggest client. I sat there watching him describe my color schemes, my taglines, even my budget projections, word for word from the presentation I'd shared with him the week before, asking for feedback as a colleague. After the meeting, Derek cornered me in the break room. You seemed quiet in there, Michael. Everything okay? Just listening, I said. Good. Because honestly, I've been meaning to talk to you about stepping up your game. The team needs people who contribute original thinking, not just clock watchers. That stung. Derek looked me up and down dismissively. Maybe consider whether this role is right for your skill set. The next day, Derek scheduled a meeting with our boss, requesting my transfer to a different department. He told Janet that I was holding back team productivity. Janet listened to his concerns, then asked to speak with me privately. Michael, Derek says you're not contributing ideas, and the team's frustrated with your participation. I nodded. What do you think? Janet smiled. I think Derek doesn't know who he's talking about. I've been watching this for months. Derek's been presenting your work as his own. You knew. I know because you email me your drafts before every project. I've seen your original files with timestamps. Derek's been accessing shared folders and copying your work. Why didn't you say anything? I wanted to see how far he'd take it. Janet opened her laptop. All file access is logged. Here's Derek downloading your Henderson campaign at 2:17 a.m. last Tuesday. He's accessed your files 43 times in 2 months. So what happens now? Now Derek gets to explain to HR why he's been committing intellectual property theft while trying to frame his victim for poor performance. The HR meeting was scheduled for Friday afternoon. Derek walked in confident, expecting to discuss my transfer to the filing department. Instead, he found Janet, the HR director, and someone he didn't recognize, a man in an expensive suit taking notes. Derek, this is Thomas Mitchell from our legal department, Janet said. We're here to discuss your unauthorized use of proprietary materials. Derek's face went pale. I don't understand. Thomas opened his briefcase and pulled out printed copies of every file Derek had stolen. We have comprehensive logs showing you accessed and copied 43 documents belonging to Michael Chen without authorization. That's not we collaborate on everything. It's team-based work. Then you won't mind explaining why you downloaded his Henderson campaign at 2:17 a.m. and presented it word for word as your original work? Derek started stuttering. Michael never said it was his. He shared it openly. Janet interrupted. Actually, Michael emails me his work directly for approval. Your name has never been on any of these projects until you stole them. This is a misunderstanding. Michael and I work together closely. Thomas looked up from his notes. Mr. Chen, would you like to respond to that? I'd been sitting quietly in the corner, letting them present the evidence. Actually, Derek, we've never collaborated on a single project. You've taken my work, claimed credit, and now tried to get me fired to cover your tracks. Derek turned desperate. This is insane. Michael's just upset that I'm more successful. Ask anyone on the team who the real contributor is. That's when Thomas said something that made Derek's world collapse. Actually, we did ask someone. We asked Michael's brother. His brother. You know him as the company president, Robert Chen. Derek's mouth fell open. The expensive suit guy was my brother Robert, who'd been taking notes on Derek's corporate theft case. You mean the Michael Chen I've been hearing about in family dinners for the past 6 months is the same Michael Chen whose work you've been stealing? Derek looked between us, finally seeing the family resemblance he'd missed. When Michael mentioned his coworker was taking credit for his ideas, I suggested he document everything and let it play out. I wanted to see how far someone would go. Robert closed his notebook. Derek, you're terminated, effective immediately. Security will escort you out. Wait, this isn't fair. I didn't know he was your brother. That's exactly the point. You thought you could steal from someone who couldn't fight back. After Derek was walked out, Robert turned to me. Why didn't you just tell me who was stealing your work? I wanted to handle it professionally, not through family connections. Well, you handled it perfectly. The documentation you provided will help us prevent this from happening to other employees. Janet smiled. Derek spent months trying to get rid of the wrong person. Turns out he was trying to eliminate his boss's brother while stealing from the company president's family.